Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today we'll be discussing about urinary catheters. So in this we'll be discussing about the definition and the purposes, that is what is a urinary catheter. Then we'll be discussing about the sizes and color coding in the urinary catheter category, and then I'll be showing you or telling you some tricks which I used to remember the sizes and the color coding of the catheters. Then we'll discuss about the various types of catheters which are available and which one is used in which. So and then we'll be answering a question, which is why inflate the bulb or the balloon with fluid but not with air. So let's just jump into the topic and get started. So here we go. So it is an article which is used in urinary catheterization. It is made up of latex, polyurethane, silicone tube which is inserted into the bladder through the urethra. So if these are the kidneys, okay, so be aware of my bad drawing. So yeah, so we have made very shabby looking kidneys and bladder. So what it says is that it means the catheter is inserted from the urethra into the bladder. Okay, so this allows the urine to drain from the bladder for collection. So whatever urine is collected in the bladder somewhere here is passed through this tube, which is passing through the urethra to the outer urobag or whatever the collecting duct is. So it may also be used to inject liquids used for treatment or diagnosis of bladder conditions. So now let's jump on to the types and purposes. We are left with purposes as well. So the purposes of urinary catheterization are: first, to relieve urinary retention. So what is urinary retention? It is the residual volume, the amount of urine which should be there in the bladder after it has been emptied, so that the bladder doesn't collapse. Okay, so for example, this is a bladder right here, the urethra is coming here. So some amount of urine has to be there after urinating so that the bladder doesn't collapse. But in urinary retention, what happens is the residual volume is more than the normal one. So it is known to be like urine has retained back into the bladder, it hasn't come out from there. So to relieve it, maybe because of any obstruction here or here, somewhere here, the urine cannot pass through the bladder into the urethra. So what happens is we insert the catheter and the catheter drains the urine which was retained. So next is obtain sterile urine specimen from a patient. So we know that the area around here is all sterile field and all that. So to obtain a sterile urine specimen. Then to measure residual urine we have already talked about it. So to measure the residual urine. Then empty the bladder before, during or after surgery. So what happens is, during the surgery, anesthesia is given to the patient. So it decreases all the activities which leads to bluffing up of the bladder. So if any surgery is going on, there is a risk that the bladder might rupture. So this doesn't happen. So what we do is we insert a urinary catheter right here so that the bladder doesn't inflate much or it remains normal even if the patient is under anesthetic effect. So allows accurate measurement of urine output. So whatever urine is drained from the catheter will be the accurate most and We also use some urinals, but there the markings are not proper, and we don't know what is the residual volume of the patient, so that is not that accurate. But this method is surely very accurate to measure the urine output. So next we'll be discussing about the sizes, the color coding, and the what trick I use to remember the colors in sequence. So the trick is give big bladder wholesome of glory. So I have arranged this according to the color coding, that is green, blue, black, green, blue, black. Oh my god, what happened to this? So green, blue, black, white, green. Remember, these both green colors are different in contrast. One is a bit lighter and one is a bit darker. I couldn't show you actual catheter due to lockdown, but after this lockdown gets over, I will try to show you an actual catheter. So next, just move on, and then is orange, red, yellow, and purple. Purple, you can say violet too. So then for the size, it is very easy. You just have to remember that there is a difference of 2 between each. So it goes like 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, like a table of 2. Fine. So this is the trick. Give big bladder wholesome of glory. So G would stand for green, then B for blue. Now there's a good part in this trick which I like about that. In bladder there is a BLA, so there's no confusion that after GBB it's black or blue or black, to differentiate between blue. So black also starts with BLA and bladder also starts with BLA, so I it's easy for me to remember that it is black, not blue. So give big bladder wholesome of glory. In glory L you have off you have to skip, and in glory you have to skip L. So there G is for green, orange, red, yellow, and this you guys know is a symbol like this emote. So I just remember it like this, and like it is a funny saying that if the bladder has gone big, give it a wholesome of glory. The glory means catheter, so it is completely related to the catheter thing, so I am able to remember this, so I'm sharing it with you too. Then we'll talk about the sizes which are used for different age group, and this goes like, for pediatric, it is 6 to 10 French, adult female 12 to 14, adult male 14 to 18, and the big ones are used for clot retention. For example, for instance, a patient had an accident, and what happened was he or she injured his or her bladder, and there were clots in the bladder. So these small ones cannot remove the clots so easily, so as the size of the clots is big, so instead of them 20 and 22 French catheter are used, so that the clot can come out from the bladder itself. And for your convenience, I also want to mention that, remember, French is equally proportional to or directly proportional to the diameter. So the more is the French, the more is the diameter of the catheter. But the gauze which we used back then in the IV cannulization is indirectly proportional to the diameter. Means if the gauze is big, the diameter will be small. So a larger gauze needle will be used in a pediatric patient. So here it is opposite, the French is directly proportional to the diameter. So just remember this for life, it's gonna help you much. So now let's talk about the types of urinary catheters. So basically there are 4 types of catheters. So the first one is external catheter. Nothing is inserted inside the patient's organs or inside the patient. Directly it is applied externally to the meatus, and the whatever urine is drained, it is collected into the bag or whatever the drainage equipment the hospital is using. Then intermittent catheters, these are short duration catheters, and they are put into the patient for a very short amount of time, that is the time during which the patient is urinating. They are one time use catheters, and we'll be discussing about them in later images also. Then Foley's catheter, it is a retention catheter. The catheter is inserted into the bladder of the patient, and the bulb or the balloon is blown, and what happens is it gets intact in that bladder, and whatever urine comes out is collected into a euro bag, and this is placed for more time than intermittent catheters, and it may be changed according to the hospital policy. We'll be talking about the risk which are associated with these also in later slides, so let's jump into them. So the next ones are suprapubic catheters. Unlike other catheters which are inserted manually, these are these are induced surgically into the patient from the suprapubic area. They are inserted into the bladder directly, and from here the urine is drawn into the urobag or whatever the connecting bag is. So this one is surgical one, rest all are manual or procedure type of things. So I have also collected some more types of catheters. These ones we have already discussed. Now we'll be discussing about the other ones which I found out. These are insertion trays. These insertion trays are the ones in which every equipment which is required for the catheterization is available. You don't have to collect every equipment, make a tray, then send it for sterilization, etc. You just have to open this kit. It's like just a kit, and everything is available in it, even the catheter also. But in some kits the catheter is not available. Rest all the equipment which is required for the catheterization is available. Then are the touchless catheters. The touchless catheters is name given for barred closed system catheters for self catheterization. Means the patient who won't who are at home or have been discharged but they need catheter at times, so these can be inserted in into the meatus by the patient itself or the person itself, and the retained urine can be let out through the outlet. Then are Texas catheters, these ones. These are when indwelling is not possible. These are used when indwelling is not possible. Indwelling means putting this catheter into the bladder is not possible because of any obstruction or any such thing, but surgical procedure is also not required. So in that case these Texas catheters are used, and they also have a decreased risk for infection. Then closed system catheters, these are same like these touchless catheters, and self insertion is also possible in these ones. Okay, so now what I could also find is that some categories of Foley's catheter were also available, so let's get into them. Yeah, so these are the types of catheters, Foley's catheters. So first one is Robinson one-way catheter. It is a straight catheter, so it is a one way. You can see there are no two separate ways here. Okay, so this is a one-way catheter, like we talked about the intermittent one. Then is Robinson two-way catheter. There are two waves, one the colored part one, this part, which is used to inflate the balloon or the bulb, and the second part from where the drainage will occur. The third in the Robinson category is the three-way catheter. It is in latex. You can also see the material which they have used. This one is silicone, these are the latex ones. So in this there are three outlets, inlets and outlets, three types of you can say base. So this one is the balloon inflation, and this is the output one. This is the one from which the irrigation solution, which we'll be talking about later, is put into the bladder and retained for some time, then drained out. So this is the drainage one, this is the insertion one. Then is a Cord's two-way catheter. It is also of latex, and you can see this tip here. We'll be discussing it in further slides. So this is a two-way catheter, and it is made up of latex. This one was made up of silicone, this is made up of latex. Same, this is for the balloon inflation, and this is for the same outlet, discharge of urine. So next we'll be talking about the tips. So let's jump into that. Okay, so there are these tips available. One is straight tip, then cord tip, olive tip, and introducer tip. You can see the difference between the tips. This is somewhat straight, this is somewhat bent one, this is more narrowed, and this has something over it. So let's see. So the straight, I will show you the images side by side. Okay, so the straight tip catheters are the standard tip and most used tip. I'm sorry that I have scribbled already. Actually, I was preparing the lecture before I deliver it to you. So okay, so straight tip catheters are standard tip and most used tip. These are the standard ones, so they are used the most. Cord tips or Tiemann tips, or Tiemann tips, whatever you want to say, are useful to bypass obstructions to the urethra. So if there is any obstruction, you can see there is a light slant here, so you can pass through the obstructions, bypass the obstructions. Then our olive tips, they are used when navigation may be difficult. So you can see that it is a narrow one, so it would pass from any structure nearby. Yeah. So then are the introducer tips. These are insertions with low risk of UTI infections. As you can see, it is all covered. When you will inflate it, it will flap over. So this reduces the risk of infection because the sterile part won't touch anywhere. Okay, so we are done with the tips also. Now next I would like to show you these images. First you can see them in like this, then I'll zoom it for you. Okay, so first is the Mailcott Wink tip. It is a self-retaining catheter. So what happens is we insert the catheter in a straight form. Then when we pull the catheter back, as we do in normal catheters, these slings protrude. They become stiff and the catheter is retained within. Okay, so the next one is DePeyser mushroom tip. In this, again, this was a straight catheter at first, and then when we pull it back, it becomes like this knob-like structure. It becomes at the end. It is also self-retaining. Then we'll see Foley's triple lumen catheter. You know the basic structure of the catheter, so we'll directly jump back to the cross section. And so the first port here is the drainage one. Then we have three ports here. First is drainage, then balloon inflation, then the last one is irrigation. So what happens is once the irrigation solution, which is hanged here, okay, suppose this is hanged here, it passes through the insertion port like this, and then it is the irrigation solution is retained here in bladder like this. So this is the irrigation solution, and it depends upon the type of solution that we want to keep in the bladder, or the amount of time we want to keep the solution in the bladder. Once it's done, the uh, I'll use a different color for this one because it will be easier. So once the irrigation work all is done, the irrigant is then drained through the drainage one, like this is the outlet for, this is a very light color, so drained from this port. So this one here is the balloon inflation port. Actually it is not visible much in the diagram. So the balloon inflation is used to inflate this balloon. Now there's also one more catheter, which is Foley's 2 lumen catheter. This one is the one. So it has only 2 lumens or 2 ports. One is for drainage and one is for inflation. One will inflate the balloon and one will drain the urine. If you have any doubts, please mention them in the comments. So this is the basic label diagram of a catheter. So we'll start with this end. So what this is a 2 lumen catheter in which there is a balloon inflation port and there is one urine drainage port. Over the urine drainage port, the size of the catheter and the company manufacturer company ID is present, ID and the name is present, and here you can see there is small rubber like structure here which is colored. So this will indicate the color coding of the, or the size of the catheter. Then this is all tubing. This is a latex catheter and this is all the tubing, and at the end portion we can see that there is a bulb which on inflating becomes this, and bulb or balloon, whatever you want to say. Then this is a straight tip catheter. We have already discussed about the tips. So this is a straight tip catheter. This is the outlet from where the urine will drain into the tubing. Okay, so next is same. I just wanted to show you the collection bag and how it is connected. See, here is the drainage tube which is connected to the Euro bag or the collecting bag. In some hospitals I have also seen that Euro bags are of this shape with the outlet or the emptying spout which is here, somewhere here. And this is the collecting bag. Once the urine is collected, it is drained out from the emptying spout, and these are all the measurements which are available on the collection bag. 100 ml, 75 ml, 100 ml, 200 ml, like this the measurements are mentioned. So here the measurement, we can measure the amount of urine. So next is the question, super question. Why air is not used to inflate bulb? So what happens, these are both the bladders. In one the catheter is filled with fluid, in one the catheter is filled with air. So what happens is, once the bladder is full, the fluid one, being heavy, won't float over the urine and it remains intact with the bladder lining. Understood? But in this one, the air one, once the bladder is filled with urine, what happens is, the air one, being lighter than the fluid or the urine, it floats and comes above the urine. Okay, so what the purpose is of the catheter is that it has to retain there so that the urine can pass through the outlets. But if we inflate it with air, it would go upwards, up in the air above the urine. So all the urine would drain from here, not in the pipe. So this is the reason why we don't use air to inflate the bulb. So this is a very filthy and sluggish diagram which I have made. I should be given an award, right? Just kidding. So these are the kidneys. Okay, then these are the passage. We have concern with this right now, bladder and the urethra. So what happens is the Foley's catheter or any catheter is passed through the urethra into the bladder, like we talked about in the definition. And from here, when the urine, okay, let's take some yellow color. So when the urine is filled in the bladder, it passes through the pipe into the collecting bag, which is the Euro bag or whatever the hospital, according to hospital policy. So this is a 2-lumen catheter. If it had 3 lumens, suppose it had 3 lumens, 1 lumen would give it the irrigation solution, and the rest procedure is same. Just the difference is that the irrigation solution will be retained for some time and then it will be drained out, and this is the balloon inflation port to inflate this balloon. Now we'll talk about the catheter UTI risk. UTI means urinary tract infection. So as you know, we are placing an external object inside the body, so it will increase the risk of infection to the patient. So let's see which catheter causes the most risk. So here we can see the diagram that the external catheter produces very low risk to the patient for infection. Then is the intermittent catheter, and the highest risk is in Foley's catheter because it is placed for longer duration inside the patient according to hospital policy. So this makes bacteria easy this makes an easy passage for bacteria to invade and cause any urinary tract infections. So indwelling catheters pose greatest risk for urinary tract infections. Urinary tract infections risk increased by 5% each day the catheter remains in place. You can see this on this side, and this was for the topic. So we have discussed about the urinary catheters, its definition, purposes, sizes, and the color coding. And we learned a trick today to learn the color coding, which was give big bladder wholesome glory. Then their types of urinary catheters. Then we discussed different types of Foley's catheters, difference based on tips. Then we learned about the internal structure, and yeah, that's all. Then we answered the questions about the bulb inflation, and we learned about the risks associated with the catheter. So thank you so much for watching my video, and please like and subscribe to my channel so that I can grow more and I can put more such videos on this platform and share the tricks I use to learn the topics. Thank you.